Happy National Thrift Shop Day. Today is about appreciating secondhand shopping as well as sustainability. Also, it is Black Cat Appreciation Day. It is to help to find homes for black cats, and it's also to help stop the myths about bad luck. How could you think that is bad luck? That is super cute. I love black cats. They're actually probably my favorite, but I'm also born on Halloween, so I don't think that bodes well. Today is also update 7 for Skin is In. I think I'm making pretty good progress so far with this project. I do have a couple of empties today, and as well as a couple of roll-ins. Year to date, I have managed to use up 18 products so far, so let's see how many more we're adding to that total today. I have 3 categories to run through, and the first one is Scalp Care, and my lone product I have is my Porology Hydrate Shampoo. I have been working on this since January, which given the size, I guess that's not that surprising. I did manage to get 6 more uses this past month, bringing total uses to 56. But when I brought this in January, it weighed 106 grams on the dot. Last month, it weighed 271.2 grams, and this month it weighs 192.6 grams. Meaning in the past month, I was able to use 78.6 gram of product, and so far I've gotten 613.4 grams out of this. And I swear, we're like right down there. Like, this is gonna be gone so soon, and like, I am so excited because that means I've managed to use up a whole liter. On to body care, the first product I have is my Franken Hyaluronic Acid and Copper Peptide Serum. I did get 28 more uses on it this past month, bringing total uses to 88. And I also repackaged it last month. I used to have it in the see-through containers of the Costa Baja, and then I learned that copper peptide's actually kind of light sensitive, so then I repackaged it into this opaque container. So last month it weighed 472.8 grams, and this month it weighs 347.7 grams. Meaning since I repackaged it, I got 125.1 gram. So in order to make that serum, I just mixed a bottle of the Costa Baja Hyaluronic Acid Serum with 1 gram of copper peptide. I personally don't really like this serum. I find it sticky, but I thought, like, you know, this was the simplest thing to kind of mix in with it as I was first trying this out. However, when that is gone, the new way I'm going to be doing it is 2 bottles of the Poromizing Fresh Ampule from Skin 1004 with 1 gram of copper peptide. I cannot wait for that to be gone. Next up is my Franken Exfoliating Body Lotion. I brought this in last month and was able to get 8 monthly and total uses on it. And last month it weighed 370 grams on the dot, and this month it weighs 300.4, meaning monthly and total usage is at 69.6. In order to make that Franken lotion, I just mixed a bottle of the Olay Revitalizing Body Lotion. It's the one with vitamin C in it, and then I put 2 bottles of peeling solution. So one bottle I had was from The Ordinary, and the other one I had was from The Minimalist. You could do 1 of each, you could do 2 of one, 2 of the other. I just thought 2 bottles was a good ratio to add to the vitamin C. Another product that is so close to being done, this is the Franken Retinol Body Cream. I also brought this in last month and was able to get 10 monthly in total uses. Last month it weighed 249.2 grams, and this month it weighs 163.9 grams, meaning I was able to get 85.3 grams on it so far. I actually really enjoy the concoction I made with that one, and I think I'm going to be doing it again when that is gone. In order to make it, I used 2 bottles of the Cocoa Kind Retinol Body Cream. I added in a retinol and squalane. You could use The Ordinary. This one is from My Ingredients. I just think that the oil adds just a little bit nicer of a texture to the product. And then the star of the show is a Queritol Tretinoina tube. This is way too strong for my face, and I have quite a few left, so I thought this would be a great way to try and use it up. Last month I also brought in the bottle of the St. Ives Renewing Collagen and Elastin Body Lotion. I was able to get 24 monthly in total usage on it. Last month it weighed 448.3 grams, and this month it weighs 282.7 grams, meaning I was able to get 165.6 grams out of it so far. It's a decent lotion, it does exactly what I wanted to do, and it's cheap. However, I think I might explore other options in the future. And rounding out body care is the Dermabee Everyday Sunblock SPF 50 Plus PA+++++. I got 7 more uses out of this product, emptying it in a total of 107 uses. I did bring this back in May when it weighed 232.6 grams. Last month it weighed 54.8, and empty it weighs 30 grams on the dot, meaning I had 24.8 grams of product left this past month, and in total I used up 202.6. I do enjoy this sunscreen, however I do find it a little bit expensive for a body sunscreen. On to skincare, I'm going to start with an empty. This is my second last bottle of the Minimalist Vitamin C E Ferulic 16% face serum. I got 5 more uses on it this past month, bringing total uses to 39. I do seem to average about 40 per bottle. In June when I brought it in, it weighed 74.6 grams. Last month it weighed 57.2 grams. And empty, it weighs 55.4. Meaning I only got 1.8 gram of product out of it this past month, so clearly there wasn't that much left. But in total there was 19.2 grams. I do really enjoy this product. I find price-wise it's quite nice. It works well for my skin, doesn't have that hot dog scented water to it, and it applies well under other products. However, I'm kind of curious about exploring other options, maybe vitamin C's that also have centella in them, so that way I can kind of combine 2 steps into one. But I do really enjoy this one. Next is the product that just won't quit. This is the Skin 1004 Poremizing Fresh Ampule. I got 12 more uses on it this past month, bringing total uses to 139 for a serum. That's crazy. I use this on my neck, I use it on my face, and I've used it on my stomach a couple of times as well. 139 uses. I brought this back in February where it weighed 235.1 grams. Last month it weighed 156 on the dot, and this month it weighs 147.2 grams. Meaning I've been able to use 8.8 gram of product this past month, and we're currently sitting at a total of 87.9 grams. The Nimbuzin NAD Plus Bio Lifting Sil Essence. I did get 9 more uses on this past month, bringing total uses to 46. I brought this in back in April where it weighed 110 grams on the dot. Last month it weighed 87.2 grams, and this month it weighs 79.5, meaning I used 7.7 gram of product this past month, and in total I have used 30.5 grams. According to the side here, we have about that much left. I am going slow and steady with my Queritol Tretinoina 0.05% because I really should have got this 0.025%, so it's a bit much for me. I got 4 more uses on it this past month, which makes sense because I use it every Monday, and now total uses are at 18. When I brought it in April, it weighed 23.1 gram. Last month it weighed 18.1 gram, and this month it weighs 17 on the dot, meaning this month I was able to use 1.1 gram of product, and in total I have used 6.1 gram. Another product that I'm kind of going slow with just because my skin doesn't really like kale and clay, and go figure, this has kale and clay. I should really learn to read ingredient lists. But this is the Beauty of Joseon Ground Rice and Honey Glow Mask. I do like the texture of this. It feels really nice and creamy on the skin. I just wish my skin didn't get irritated when I use this. I should clarify, it gets kind of irritated, it gets kind of like stingy, but it does subside, so you kind of just have to put up with it for a couple minutes and then it's not too bad. But really there's other products out there that don't do that to me, so I probably should be reaching for those over this. But I did get 6 more uses on this, bringing total uses to 31. In April it weighed 219.9 grams, last month it weighed 151 on the dot, and this month it weighs 132.2 grams, meaning I was able to use 18.8 gram of product this past month, and in total I have used 87.7. I am definitely getting down there. There's not really that much left. On to a product that I am sad that I used up. This is my Round Lab Birch Juice Moisturizing Wash Off Pack. I did get 13 more uses out of this, bringing total uses to 46. When I brought it in April, it weighed 54 grams on the dot, and in July when I decanted it to make it empty, it weighed 16.9 grams. Meaning this past month, I'm not sure how many grams I used, but in total I used 37.1. I love to use this on tretinoin night because it's very moisturizing, it's very hydrating, it's also quite soothing, which I think is great, especially given the fact that my tretinoin is just a little bit too strong. So I don't think I'll ever be without this if I'm using tretinoin. And the last product I have in skincare is the Access Y New Skin Resolution Gel Mask. I got 15 more uses out of this, bringing total uses to 27. When I brought it in June, it weighed 208.7 grams. Last month, it weighed 185.5 grams. And this month, it weighs 151.3 grams. Meaning this past month, I was able to get 34.2 grams out of it. And in total so far, I have used 57.4. This is my typical shower mask that I tend to reach for, just because it's quite soothing and calming. Because I use some things up, it only makes sense to bring a few things in. The first product I am bringing in in is the Mary & May Soul Edition Shea Butter and Rice Bran Hand Cream. I am bringing this in at 23.2 grams. And quite honestly, there is not that much left. And the second product that I am bringing in is the Jack Black Beard Lube Conditioning Shave. I am bringing this in at 418.4 grams. If you're somebody who is interested in this brand, I highly suggest you go with the Supreme Cream instead because it's quite superior. However, this one is nice, it's just pretty generic, but the Supreme Cream, mwah, great formula. At the start of this video, I had let you know that previously I used up 18 products. 8 of those were body care and 10 of those were skincare. After today's update, we are now sitting at 21, 9 of which are body care and 12 of which are skincare. And hopefully soon, we'll have a hair care product too. But that is my update for Skin is In. I'm quite happy with the progress that I'm making so far. Fingers crossed we'll have that hair care empty next month, but if not, it'll be coming soon. I can feel it. Also, don't forget to show them Black Kitty some love today because, like, how cute! And they're even cute when they're full grown. But thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. It definitely helps my channel out and it encourages me to keep going. Until the next one I see you in, I hope the day treats you well. Bye!